Okay, we are getting started. This is our last drill prep meeting before the drill on Saturday, August 15th. Thanks everybody for coming. Let's see, a couple things we wanted to talk about. Sorry, I thought I had this. Oh, so guidance on picking the top three. I'm going to share my screen, and this came out of Miles's head, a little bit of tweaking by me, but one of the things the hub managers are going to be asked to do is at a certain time, they want the top three issues from their hub in front of the radio operator, and the radio operators are going to convey it. So, thoughts about how to gather those top three pieces of information. So, this is the thing that Miles put together. So, first of all, they should go to the information area first. That kind of makes the most sense. Definitely don't include anything that came from the city or somebody heard on the radio, because obviously city officials know that. They don't need it said back to them. You're looking for things that would slow down relief. And anything bigger, something that would slow down relief outside of your area, kind of. They're not looking for individual neighborhood issues. They're looking for overall, how can we get this system up and running better? So things like blocked roads, a building fell down and, stopped traffic all across I-5 or something. I don't know. So anything that would slow down relief. What could help another area? You heard about there's a medical area set up, and it looks like it could handle more than just your community. Maybe it's not even inside your community. You just know it's outside a little bit. So things like that could speed up or slow down relief. Go to the information area first. Second, the second place the hub manager should go is the volunteer and the resource areas. So if the next shift was coming on, what would they pass on? What are the big things in their heads? So that's a good question to ask. Is there a resource they could use that would speed up relief efforts? And this is our example. A shelter could open up except for one tiny little thing that's missing. For this one, it's the heat won't come on, and they didn't want to put people in a cold building. So if we just had this resource, if we just had this smart person, we could get a shelter put up. So that's the kind of thing that you might find in the volunteer or the resource area. And then the last thing is just, choose out of what you've learned, choose the top three and send it on. We're not looking for perfection here. We're going with, what's going to work. So thoughts about that? Anything to add to it? Does it sound pretty reasonable? It's the first time we've ever kind of taken a swipe at it.
Yeah. Also, I guess maybe it's in the resource they could use, but if there's a pervasive theme on resource needs, everybody's running out of water, right? And that's a serious issue that I think the city needs to be aware of.
It's kind of, for this question, it's how can, Gina popped out and popped back in. For this particular choose the top three, it's what can we do? What can we give to you to get the whole system up and running? It's not what are your individual needs. And I don't know, maybe it's how the question's asked, because I would, everybody's going to say that. We don't have enough water. We don't have enough food. We don't have enough beds. We could obviously use some clarity from the city. If you're ever going to ask this, what exactly do you think you might ask? What resources do we need? Or the questions here is what could you give us that might speed things up? Or what things are slowing the recovery down that maybe you don't even know about? A landslide kind of thing.
It's going to be interesting because of the fact that this is a drill. These things aren't going to come from the scripts, right? I mean, so it's not going to. So it's going to be whatever the scripts tell us the problems are.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not, if I was hub manager on Saturday, I'm not sure if I could come up with this. And I've seen the scripts. It's not going to be easy. So please tell your hub managers, just make it up. Let's just get something to the radio operators.
Even if it's not in the script.
Yeah, just make it up. But let's definitely get something passed.
And logistically, is this coming down at a known time, or is it just going to pop up as a message, or how?
Yes. So the path, and you guys haven't seen this, but the ACS radio folks have at, I want to say it's 10:30. At 10:30, they're going to pass information to the hub radio people saying, hey, at 11, I think it's 11:30. Don't quote me on that. But at 11:30, we want to pass your top 3 issues. So get this message to the hub, get it to the hub manager, start putting your answer together. The way Miles has it written in the plan, it was a little bit of a surprise to me, and who knows how it'll happen. But what he had written was the radio assistant. So hub manager comes up with their top 3, gives it to the radio assistant. The radio assistant puts it on an ICS 213, which is this special radio form, gives it back to the hub manager for their blessing, and then it's transmitted out into radio waves. That's that extra step of verifying that what we wrote down is what you wrote down. I'm not sure that needs to happen or could even happen. Often the radio operators aren't that physically close to the hub. I think they will be this time, but they're not always. So, I just don't have time to work that out with Miles. Apparently that's how things are supposed to run in his head. I just don't. It's the first time I've kind of seen it, I think. So we'll see how it goes. Any questions? Go ahead.
Just a thought. Could some of the things from our vulnerable places scenarios?
Oh, sure.
Go in there?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not in the scenario things, might be something in there.
Well, again, your vulnerable places are
more local.
Yeah, are issues you're having to deal with more so than what could we, like make up something about a shelter. If we could get the doors to this building open, we could run this place as a shelter. I don't know. I'm not, my creative juices are not flowing at the moment.
Okay.
Would it be helpful if I threw something together and just got it to you guys, or do you want your hub managers to just wing it?
I think that's the reality. We have to be prepared to wing it. That's how this is going to work in real life. Yeah. So I'm not stressing over it too much. We'll come up with something. Reassure them that making it up is just fine. We don't need concrete. Nobody's going to test them on whether or not they did this right, because this is the first time we've really ever played this piece of the game. Okay, Bill is coming in from Rainier Beach. Okay, so that's the top 3 issue. Any questions about the stuff that I dropped off? And I do have more on that issue, but. Well, Ann, can you tell me because you dropped it off at Frank's, so sure. I don't know what was dropped off. It'd be helpful to know the inventory of it. Okay, so the big thing was 3x5 cards that have 10 of your vulnerable places listed on them. And so what's on there is the address and the name of the place, if there is such a thing, and then a little description of what it is. It's a preschool, and it's, typical working hours. And during working hours, there's 8 to 10 kids, so there's 12 people total. It's that kind of stuff that's in this description. So that 3x5 card goes to your volunteer, your runner kind of. The runner goes over to somewhere in your hub where there should be 4x6 index cards. The 4x6s, the larger ones, have on one side, it says Creative Beginnings Preschool.
in red. I think I wrote it in red. On the other side, it's typed out what they found. Broken glasses everywhere. All the kids got out. All the staff members got out. There's a couple people running around with bandages on. All but 3 of the kids have been picked up so far. So that's the information they're going to bring back to the volunteer coordinator. And then the VC can either go, yep, thanks, or they can go, what else can we do with this information? Some of the 4x6 cards have in the response, it'll say the staff wants to know if you guys can send medical people to us, or the staff wants to know if you can go to the Home Depot where the dad is and see if he's coming to get his twins. So there is some built-in follow-up stuff on these 4x6 cards, on the larger cards. So that was one of the things I dropped off, was the vulnerable stuff and the follow-on thing. There's a large, colorful sign that says photos are going to be taken. If you're not okay with that, please let us know. On the back of that sign is just some guidance for our folks on, basically it says things like, don't make people feel like crap. If they don't want their picture taken, they don't want their picture taken. That's their right. So don't give them any grief about it. Don't try and talk them into it. Figure out a way to keep them out of photos. It's just kind of general guidance, but so that's on the back of that one. So that's the photos. There's also a big sign. It's bright orange on one side, and it's kind of the safety briefing. It's large and laminated. You guys can keep it for the next time you do something like this, or you can give it back to me, either one. Big safety brief on one side. On the other side, it says in big letters, what do you know and who else needs to know it? It's kind of a reminder to the hub manager to you got to encourage people to share information. What I've seen in drills is people are so intent on doing a good job and filing the paperwork the right way and all that they really forget they're part of a larger system and that we're trying to share information. And everybody's very afraid to leave their canopy. So just trying to encourage people that we're not here for perfection, and really if you can, be thinking about what did you just find out and who else in the hub probably needs to know about this. Let's see, what else? For those of you that didn't have them, I dropped off it's a large sign that says what's going on. It's a couple sentences on, we're doing a disaster exercise and it's a pretend earthquake. And I forget what the verbiage is, but it's 8.5 by 24 inches. It's a sign that says what's going on. The other one is a very large sign that says start here. You can hang it up or stick it in the ground with stakes, whatever you want to do. If you don't want to use it, if it doesn't work for your hub, that's fine too. But each of you have one. It is a very large, hard to miss sign that just says start here. Let's see, what else? I put in there, there's 2 plexiglass, lucite, I don't know what they are. Plastic things that hold paperwork standing up on a table, like for displays. So one of them has the QR code to donate. The other one has the QR code to get on our mailing list. And this is a generic mailing list. And one of the questions it asks is, what's your nearest hub, or what is your neighborhood? So when we're all done, I'll go through that list of newly acquired people and divvy them out to the hub closest to them. We had talked.
How would you like those positioned? The donate signs in particular. Are you thinking you want that at the beginning, pre-greeter, or in our case, we're going to have the flow and they'll go through the whatever their scenario is with the different canopy. And then we also have an information table, which kind of is at the end, and some snacks. Would you prefer the donate thing kind of at the end, or don't
I'd
care?
say I'd say wherever it makes sense, but in your case, I think the end makes a lot of sense, especially the donate one.
Right.
Yeah. For the group, we had talked about yard signs, 18 inches by 24 inches, getting yard signs printed for this exercise that we could use from this point forward. There was some delay in getting these signs designed, and the delay, I know this sounds really goofy because it's a tech issue, but I can't solve it. Couldn't solve it at the time. A QR code that we could point to wherever we wanted. So the QR code would point to the network's donation page or Madison Valley's donation page or whatever. And we could shift that on the fly without ever having to modify this sign. That I couldn't get done in time, and I wasn't crazy about the design anyway. I personally think our outreach stuff still looks a little sterile and unfriendly. So anyway, I ran out of time, and I wasn't crazy about throwing money into this, especially when money's tight, into signs that I couldn't make as flexible as possible. So I just printed up 8.5 by 11s and gave them to you guys. Let's see, what else was in there? There were some paper sign-up sheets. Often when I go to different events, people have a sign-up sheet out there so people can write down their name, their email, but they often forget to put the hub or what neighborhood are you with, because they kind of assume that the only people stopping by are their neighbors. And that is not the case, and certainly not going to be the case this weekend. So I pushed out some sign-up sheets. If people don't want to use a QR code, have them write it down, but it does ask that question about what hub are you from. Shoot, I should have had a list of what all was in there. I think that's the bulk of it. You all got your forms already, the have and need forms.
What about the pre-staged for the whiteboard and is that coming as a list or something?
Right. That was not in the drop off today. I just was struggling to get it done, but I wanted to get you guys what I could. So I have the pre-staged messages ready. I am currently working on, pre-staged for the information area. And there's only 5, I think. It wasn't many. So those are ready. And then I'm currently working on pre-staged haves and needs, both resources and volunteers. I don't know that I would bother putting these things in the pantry organizers now. I think I'd give them to your volunteers first thing in the morning so that they can get used to the system. There's not going to be that many, and they're not going to be super busy, right at 10 o'clock. So that's just my thing. You guys can stuff them ahead of time. There won't be a ton. Maybe there's 15 in the resource area and 15 in the volunteer area. I'm just trying to write stuff up there so that you can maybe make matches earlier and just get used to the system. So those 2 are still coming. I think that's pretty much it.
That, just clarify, that's coming as a list in the email, not as something you're dropping off.
I can do either. I will email it, and then I will ask if you need me to print it and drop it off. I'm happy to. Okay. It's not tons of paperwork.
If you email it, we can just make our own little things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
It's just a few pages, and we'll print it and save you the trip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I made double trips today, sadly. Yeah. I could not have done it worse this morning dropping off stuff, but I did. Okay. Anything else? Do you guys know where you're going to put your hub radio operators on Saturday? I'm getting a nodding head from Bill.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a place we would normally put them, but I think it'll work out well for the drill situation.
Okay. And do you have a canopy and a table and a chair for them?
We definitely
Beach
we'll
does.
have tables and chairs, and we're going to put them under that overhang area.
Good.
Which we wouldn't in a realistic scenario because we wouldn't
Right.
trust the structure, but it's a good place to kind of isolate them.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Gina, I'm going to ask you that question because I'm working with your radio operators. Do you have shade and table and chair?
We have a canopy and a table. I'm not sure about the chairs. I thought we were telling everyone to sort of bring their own chairs.
I will let them know. Okay.
But I don't know for sure. I'm not sure if that message was in the sign up thing or not to bring your own chairs. Because I don't think that we have. I think we're just all bringing whatever chairs we can, but I don't know.
Okay.
We don't really have like a stash of chairs.
Yeah.
But we will have canopy and table.
Okay. I will let your radio folks know, and I will let them know to bring their own chairs. So the way the sign up form works is 2 days before the event. So they have gotten it theoretically. Yeah. They got a reminder. I can send out a message outside of that saying, hey, don't forget to bring chairs. Yeah. In general, I never sit down when I'm, right. Unless I was a message taker or a radio operator, right. I wouldn't be sitting down. So I wouldn't worry too much about chairs.
And definitely don't send that to everybody in Madison Valley. Right. We have the MLK Center, and we'll just pull out whatever we need from them. So
gotcha.
We don't need people to bring anything.
Okay. Yeah, likewise, Rainier Beach, we have chairs and community and tables.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. I think Cindy might even be on the dirt. I can't remember. Okay.
The reminder email that I got from Ellen about it, that I got from the system as message taker, does not say anything about bringing
a chair
stuff.
Okay.
So it didn't get put in that email.
Okay. But Gina, to bring one?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm just I'll take care of your radio operators and let them know what you have and what you don't have.
Okay.
And then I'll touch base with Cindy and see if she's probably got this covered. She's probably thought about it, but make sure she's communicating with her radio folks. Okay. If you guys don't have other questions, I don't have anything else.
How do you want us to manage lessons learned?
Yeah, God, thank you for saying that. I should have had this prepared.
Are we just asking people to jot ideas, email them in? You want us to report out as a hub? How do you want to manage that?
Yeah, the plan is, and I should have been talking about this, the plan is that I think it's next Thursday. It's a deep dive. I was hoping to do the after action report then. So I think what would be helpful, some kind of form that I can send out to the hub teams now on this is what we'd like back from you. Like ask these questions before you let people leave. And then a reminder that we would like photographs of your boards, your information boards, before somebody erases it when you're breaking stuff down.
Yeah, that would be helpful to what to look for. I was going to put a small pad at each place and tell people to jot down stuff that they thought could be improved. Yeah. But we weren't going to formally meet after the drill because it's going to be getting hot and people will be exhausted. But we were hoping to somehow bring that together for the next meeting.
Okay.
Report back. Would that work?
When is your next meeting?
Well, we don't really have a next meeting. I mean, for your report back meeting on the Thursday. Yeah. But if you send us some guidelines, we can say that at the beginning and people can be aware of those things.
Yeah, I will send out some good questions. And I'd like somebody whether it's your hub manager or who, somebody to answer those so that we can put an after action report together. A lot of what you get at individual stations is very like, oh, I didn't have a stapler. It's not big information. It's not an overview. It's very, very limited to their area. So it's what we're looking for is a bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, that would help to have guidelines. And then when we do our little orientation in the beginning, we can say, think about these things. And
yeah. Okay. So I will send out questions. I will send out a reminder to take pictures and to give us a picture of your information board before you shut down for the night.
We need to differentiate between how this went as a drill and how we could make the drill itself better versus how would this have worked in an actual emergency? Well, how is the system functioning, and do they see issues with it in an actual emergency?
Yeah.
Those are different things.
Do you think you could support your neighbors after an earthquake? And do you think this what we've been doing could be done differently or better next time? Good distinction. Thanks, Mark. Let's see. So I don't anticipate anybody doing much of a debrief with the first shift. If we were all in like one place like we've done before, that's doable. We just have enough people running around that somebody could be doing the debrief. But I think all four of you are kind of stretched for people. So we won't debrief with the first people. I mean, ask them, like your idea, Christina, ask them to write stuff down if they want. But I would suggest a quick, how did things go? Gathering your volunteers together for 10 minutes. The thing I would say is, please don't repeat what the person before you said, because there's a lot of that. So go around the room or around the whatever and go, tell me one thing that I haven't heard yet before. And the group that you're standing there with, you probably want to ask the question of, do you feel like we could support our neighbors if an earthquake happened tomorrow? That's the question for them. And then this group that's been on these drill prep sessions, is there a better way to do this next time? So I will send some questions, but if you can debrief, I would. And I think the longer you wait, the less people are going to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is your advice for when we get there and we don't have positions filled? Are we anticipating having people do double duty, or hub manager step into roles behind tables? Or
I don't think you can do double duty. I don't think the hub manager can do more than one thing. I would say recruit from somebody standing there and see if you can't train them on the spot. I thought, especially like for the north end, we have a lot of hubs up here and only one site's activating. I really thought north end folks would fill all the spots, and they just haven't. Yeah, I have lots of thoughts about drills and what we should be doing moving forward, but that's for another time. That's not for right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thoughts? Anybody else got concerns about spots you don't have filled?
I'm not too concerned with Midvale. I think we've got, single coverage across all the critical functions. We don't have backup. But we do have our core team. And I think I've got 3 of them that intentionally didn't sign up for anything that we can place around as needed. But some of the things like the runners and radio assistant, I'm going to have to pull from people on the fly.
Yeah. Because makes perfect sense.
Those are the types of roles I think I can.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also kind of hoping that people that slotted in for the first shift will just stay for the second shift. If you ask them. Like 3 hours isn't that long. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, we are missing a radio operator for one of our shifts. Chris, do you remember if it's the first or the second?
It's the morning shift and a message taker, but we do have 2 greeters and 2 people at the info. And if I don't get people, we're just gonna have to pull decide where we could pull from to what's more critical, I guess, is what I thought.
Yeah.
Because we have one supply and no message taker. We need to put somebody with that supply person. They can't do that by themselves if there's no message taker. The afternoon's really good for us. We're more lacking in the morning.
Interesting. I wonder if you guys can ask Joe, who's your radio operator, the second shift. I wonder if you can ask him to.
He's already being a pre-greeter.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah, we have several of the radio people are doing regular roles. But we just haven't gotten anybody to do that runner.
Okay.
We do have Chris A is going to do it in the afternoon, but we don't have somebody in the morning yet. But we're still sending out things today. Please.
Bill, you're signed up to be the radio operator first shift.
Yes, that's correct. And I'm radio assistant second shift.
Okay. Did you just put your name in there?
No. Not just now.
Okay.
It was, well, there was some back and forth amongst our crew. At first, someone else wanted to be radio assistant for the second shift, but then she decided that she had too many other things going on, and so she signed out instead of signing up, I guess. And so I then signed up.
Okay. So Chris, you're covered. Radio operator's covered for you guys.
Yeah, both shifts, and we've got assistants
just
for
not
both
the runner.
shifts.
Not the runner.
Yeah. Like Mark said, you're just going to have to pull somebody.
Morning runner is not there, and morning message taker, morning second supply person. And my person that was going to be with me in the volunteer tent is not feeling well, and I'm going to see how that goes. I don't know. I'll wing it somehow.
Snag somebody and have them be your assistant.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like having unfilled positions, it makes things harder, but I think it makes it a better drill because in the event of a real earthquake, we won't necessarily have people around. We won't necessarily have a full complement of people to cover all the positions. I mean, for all we know, my house is going to cave in on me and I won't be there to run the radios.
Yeah. Yeah. It is realistic. That's true.
It's true. I did see when in the process of signing up, because I was sending them out early, and when I was just sending out for the volunteer positions, we were getting all these signups, but when that other thing went out on all the signs and everybody started signing up for the actor, it dropped off. So I don't know about the timing. I don't know if that played a role or people just said, oh, I'll just do that. If it impacted people's willingness to do the longer thing, I don't know. Just something I observed.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely something to talk about. Will we ever ask the public to sign up again? Okay. I owe you guys the pre-staged information stuff, the pre-staged have and needs forms, and some guidance on debriefing folks. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Thanks for your patience, guys.
Get to the finish line.
Yeah. See you on the flip side. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Ann.